Hi, this is Joe Murata calling from Steubenville, Ohio. I'm driving home after spending a great day in Findlay, Ohio at the FPP Walking Workshop. Want to send out a big thank you to Leslie, Michael, and Matt for putting together a great day of photo activities. Got to take a lot of photographs, got the opportunity to talk photography, got the opportunity to learn some new tips, really enjoyed the Polaroid workshop later on in the afternoon. I was able to meet up with some friends, and I made some new friends today. So all in all, it was a great day. I just want to send out a big thank you to all of you. Take care.
Michael, Alex, Mark, and Leslie, Lauren, Matt, and John Fideli, the crew at the FPP podcast, I'd like to thank you for the gas here acquisition syndrome. Who needs food when there's a freezer full of Kodak? Here acquisition syndrome. I'm running out of space in my home. Here acquisition syndrome. I'm running out of space in my home.
And this is Film Photography Podcast number 82, May 15th, 2013, the FPP Walking Workshop wrap-up show. And we're here, myself, Leslie, Matt, coming to you from the Presidential Suite at the Findlay Inn and Conference Center in beautiful downtown Findlay, Ohio.
That's right.
On this show, we're going to be doing a little recap, just some brief recollections of what the FPP Walking Workshop was and what our experiences were like. We're going to have a roll-in from Hunter, man on the street, Hunter White. He went down to the International Center of Photography and interviewed the kind folks there about the new exhibit, Photographs from Europe, by CHIM, C-H-I-M. We're going to be talking briefly about APS film. I have a bunch of different flavors here. Flavors of film, different types of film. We're going to be chatting about the odd 35mm Olympus ECRU. We're going to be talking about the fact that the FPP store is now stocking hand-rolled oddball film. That's pretty exciting. Speaking of odd, I've never embraced it until now, and that's the Kodak black and white 400CN. That's black and white film that you could process in C41 chemistry.
C41.
Yeah.
Right. Exciting. And we're going to be talking about our successes, which we'll probably talk about this when we talk about the workshop, our success with something called 35mm Polachrome. And we'll be right back.
C41.
Hey, Mike Rosso here, FPP. We're here at Tony's Touch of Italy with Matt and Lauren and Leslie and myself, and we're celebrating the fact that FPP store, filmphotographystore.com, now carries not only Kodak film, but Kodak film at a price that matches, if not beats, all the big online stores. What does that mean?
That means that I don't have to shop anywhere else for film. Ever. Just FPP, filmphotographystore.com is going to be the one-stop shop for all of my film, 35mm, 120, instant photography, and, those great little plastic film-tastic cameras on the side.
Super positive.
Leslie, what's it mean?
It's one-stop shopping. It's quick shipping, and we ship international.
A big part of the FPP community is the international listener base. I would say a little over 50%. And now they have an outlet, and a very cost-efficient outlet, and we're getting it to you. So get out there, order your favorite emulsions, your Portras, your Ektars, your T-Max, Tri-X. Get it. Get it now. filmphotographystore.com.
Hey, we're back. Hey, guys.
Hi, Mike.
Hey.
So as of this recording, we just wrapped up the FPP Walking Workshop in Findlay, Ohio. And this felt to me like the first time we've really, like a real workshop.
Yes.
It felt like I feel like we've accomplished something much more concrete and constructive than any of the meetups we've done in the past.
Very much so. It's not just meet and greet. There was a very organized set of things to do. Goals were met. There was things to accomplish. People came in not knowing what to expect. Came home with a lot of photos, some equipment, some prizes, and a lot of new knowledge.
I got to meet some folks that I've seen on the internet, and I've been corresponding with by internet and mail. Folks like Mark O'Brien from the Ann Arbor, Michigan Crappy Camera Club. Lance King, who I see on our Flickr thread all the time. Chazier.
Yes.
Chazier was there.
Charles Hohenstein. Or is it Hohenstein?
Oh, we should have asked.
It's like a Young Frankenstein thing.
It is.
We should have called up John Meadows in Canada to ask him that question because he is now starring in a stage production of Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I also met Kevin Dillon, who's been very kind to the show. Debonair shooter Susan Stayer.
Yes, absolutely. Wasn't that fun?
Yeah. The regulars like the always reliable Alex Laux.
Always.
Yep.
And the ever fun Jacob Mortensen.
Oh, yes. Jacob's Camera Closet on YouTube. And I didn't ask him, but did you ask Jacob about... So, Jacob, is your video production department shut down?
I did not, but you know what? I have some things to send him, so maybe I'll fly a little message his way.
Okay.
You know what I noticed, Mike?
Yeah, what's that?
There were so many people that came to the walking workshop that are local. I mean, relatively local to Northwest Ohio area. I didn't even know that Leslie didn't know, I didn't know, but they just kind of got word through the grapevine on the FPP site and just like Googling stuff that was coming up.
The Google.
That wonderful word free pulls a lot of people in.
You think so?
Oh, yes.
People are very into free.
Very yeah, free. Oh, yeah.
I have to agree, and Robert mentioned that to me about one of the Roberts.
Robert Bender.
Yes.
Robert Bender.
Yes, very good guy.
You really should charge a fee. You should think about it. And he is absolutely correct because the amount of, I think, events that we had were worthy of a fee. But, even if we had a very modest $25 fee, that might keep... Some people just may be like...
Yeah, out.
People want to do stuff on the weekends for free.
Sure,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
As someone who now hangs out with a new family...
Yes.
I know what it's like to go out on the weekend.
Need free.
And you want to go out and do stuff for free.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let's face it, they dropped money getting here.
Oh, yeah.
Gasoline, rooms, incidentals, food. So
Film.
it
Yes.
totally was not totally free.
Yeah.
Just didn't add on to the baseline.
I'm going to
cost.
try my best, all of us, to keep the free going. We asked folks to, if you're in town, to visit Leslie's store, pick up some film, which people did.
Quite a few people
yes.
did that, yeah.
Stop by the film photography store online, filmphotographystore.com. That really helps. If you're going to buy film, I prefer you buy it from the FPP.
Absolutely.
So-
What great price and great service.
You were going to say?
Great price and great service.
I'm looking down the list here of of folks that I met. One of the folks, Kirsten Ireland.
Yes.
She is a musician. Well, first of all, Kirsten is amazingly excited about the Film Photography Podcast, the show.
What show?
But you wouldn't know it because it's the most mellow person I've met in my life.
She was very, very silent.
Yes.
I felt
Quiet,
like I was like
quiet.
I felt like I was prying the whole
That's right.
time. I was like asking questions and
We're probably embarrassing Kirsten right now on the other side of the radio. She's like,
Yes. Ooh, don't.
yes. But the reason I bring you up is because she told me about her music. Because I had asked her, I'm like, well, what do you like about the show? Do you like the music segments? And she said, yeah, music segment, blah, 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 blah. Hey, I play music. I'm like, you do? And she has her own website, KirstenIreland.com, KirstenIreland.com.
great.
And it's her own brand. I don't want to brand it by saying it's folky, it's this, it's that. But I'm going to, I think, because some of her artwork are like hand-drawn portraits of Bob Dylan.
Okay.
So I'm thinking by just perusing your site briefly during my stay here in Ohio, I'm thinking that you are an illustrator as well. But it was really nice to meet her, to meet someone who plays music.
Yeah, and she came up with a friend of hers, Faith, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Faith Williams, yes.
Yeah, and Faith was really into the large format side of things. On Sunday, she participated. She was one of the lucky students that got to go up, and we loaded some X-ray film, did some lovely portraits.
did?
Yeah, we I think it took 7 or 8 folks up there. I showed them how to clean the holders. They cleaned my holders for me, so thanks for that. We loaded them properly under the red light, so we removed the fear of doing that in the dark. Loaded the camera. We posed models. We got the camera focused.
You did all this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When we were in the little room?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
And she was interested in seeing how
The process.
large format worked.
Yeah, and a lot of folks came. I tried to get folks that were either vaguely familiar with large format or just completely novice to it, because if I would have had somebody, show me the ropes and not say, well, go on the internet, kid, and learn yourself some large format.
Right.
Faith Williams was also one of our giveaway winners.
Yes.
Okay.
She won the Jim Austin donation from Jimages.
Yep.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Yes.
We had some fabulous giveaways.
Actually, we had a little bit of water here in Findlay, Ohio. And if it wasn't for that, the bottle would not have floated in.
It would not have
No.
gotten here on time, exactly. It
Yeah.
just came down the Blanchard.
Yeah, thanks to that, I was only a couple feet from the door.
Right up to the door.
Yeah, I really applaud all the folks that did still come out and put up with our crazy Ohio weather, because
yes.
I know there was some miserable yet still excited faces on Saturday afternoon. The Polaroid party was definitely a hit.
Oh, my God.
It was fun.
Professor Jeff made one heck of a great setup. We had 4 different 2 natural light, 2 strobe light locations where people could play around with the different Polaroid formats. Leslie gave a knockout Polaroid presentation. Then Mike, you joined in and you did that awesome Polachrome.
He
Yeah.
did it. He
Demonstration.
did it himself.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah, no
proud
help.
of him.
No, nothing. It was
Well,
great.
I think a few hours before, when we first arrived, I loaded up my camera, my FTB Canon, with color, and then a roll of black and white, and I just shot up the room. I just walked around, flash on the camera, just shot.
Oh, Sheldon.
Polachrome. I've been collecting Polachrome. I've been getting it on eBay. I've been getting it from Leslie. These boxes show up every now and then from Leslie. Thank you very much. Polapan 35mm, black and white slide film, which I shot, which we successfully processed.
Yes.
And
Perfect.
Listeners of the show may remember us talking about this. I think we did it twice on the show.
Yes.
And actually, if you recall, one time we have one fully recorded on video with like a 3-camera setup.
Yes.
Like from when Jeff
Jeff came in and did it, yeah.
Yeah. So I got to go through the archive and find that video.
That'd be great to pair it with this.
Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah.
It's not going to be done in time.
That's fine. No,
But whenever I do
That's
pull
a
it
nice
up,
thought.
I mean,
it's
at
gonna be
some
like-
point in time, yeah.
And I shot Polaroid, I guess it was Polachrome color.
The color. Yes.
And then the stuff I haven't shot, like high contrast Polachrome color. And on the box is a picture of a sales chart.
It's like a
Or
graph.
flip it.
Yeah.
Oh, is it on both sides?
Graphics,
It is
yeah.
on both sides.
I'm assuming this was not designed to shoot people.
No, it'll be pretty snappy.
In case you see this on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the rarest one, I would suppose.
Polograph 35, instant black and white, high contrast.
I love
That's Leslie's
that.
favorite.
Is it really?
And I do shoot that
People.
artsy real world. I don't shoot people often, but it has, like I always say,
Landscapes, you recommend?
I do.
You do?
I think it looks so incredibly primitive.
Okay.
It really does. I love that film.
And, of course, Pola Blue, which has a meeting agenda picture.
Yes. If you shoot that real world, it will be a blue and white negative.
It's like
Okay.
a blueprint, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah,
It'll be a
cyanotype.
negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
I contact print the Pola Blue with black and white negatives.
You do?
Oh.
Yes, so you see, I get a
Contact print it
positive
onto the negative, yeah.
onto the Pola Blue and then process it.
Oh, very nice.
That's neat.
So,
I'm very interested in getting feedback. If anyone is listening that was at our FPP walking workshop here in Findlay in April, please do drop us a line if you haven't done so already.
Matt was going to design or what
A little survey.
Are there stock
survey.
sites where you could like?
Yeah, there's there's hosted sites. I think we're using SurveyMonkey to do it.
SurveyMonkey?
Yeah, it's like a hosted thing, and we generate a survey that attendees or all listeners can fill out.
Overall, I think we're well on our way to being very structured. Having University of Findlay and the fact that Professor Jeff, those setups were awesome.
Yes.
They take a long time to set up.
They do.
Yeah.
I walked into U of F and Professor Jeff had 2 strobe stations set up.
Yes.
Just waiting for a camera.
Yeah.
Tripods there. And then on the side room, 2 2 natural light setups.
Mm-hmm. Big
And that
old
was-
north light windows, yeah.
Exactly.
And it was
Isn't it
just
beautiful?
it was the proper. Yeah, we had the proper room. Yeah, and also of course the day before on Saturday, everyone got to see the Mecca studio.
Yes.
And imagine that.
They didn't want to leave.
And
You know, the Schmoop.
The Schmoop.
Now the Schmoop is Leslie's cat. What kind of cat is that?
The Schmoop's a rag doll.
Okay.
A tiny one, a teacup rag doll. He's gigantic looking, but he's still small
I
for
never
his breed.
realized how pliable that cat was.
He's very floppy.
Yeah,
He's pliable. It's
Yeah.
a good
I
word.
feel like I'm a rag doll, because once you hold
Yeah.
them, they just
turn them upside
they go
down,
limp.
spin them around. They don't
Yeah.
care. No.
Very friendly.
Flexible, loves people, loves
Yeah.
kids, loves dogs.
Were people picking them up?
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
yeah, we were passing them around.
With photo sessions going on?
As far as I know.
Yeah, when you guys were doing that first little format
Mm-hmm.
demonstration, there was a little shoot.
And I think people really enjoyed seeing, after hearing about it on the show,
What show?
seeing Imagine That.
They did. Actually, some of them came back to the Mecca. There's a table in the back. We repaired 2 Polaroid cameras. We had some loading instruction for a couple girls who had never handled a 35 SLR before. So they got their loading instructions on how to use their camera. They shot for the day. So it was fun. Actually, there was kind of another little break-off section that nobody really knew about.
The last day, we had a large format workshop, and when I pulled in with Leslie driving in the beautiful maroon, is it maroon?
It's maroon, I
Lincoln
suppose, yeah.
Continental. Not a 77, unfortunately.
No, it was not. A little newer than you were expecting.
Yeah. I was a little surprised to see that. I mean, that parking lot, there were a lot of people there.
There was.
There were, yeah.
Yes.
I'm used to day 3, large format, being me, Matt, Leslie,
Couple
and
folks.
2 guys.
Yeah.
Well, our numbers were, I believe, 52
Yes.
overall. 30 people stayed for large format.
Yeah.
That's
or showed
great.
up. Some only came for that, but there was maybe 3.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing.
And what was
30.
your gauge, Matt? How do you think people enjoyed that?
I think they got a lot out of it. Even for the experienced shooters, it was good to see different techniques, different ways people approach large format, because we had some guys that have been doing it forever, some others that have are novices to it or have only worked at it in university. A lot of different skill levels, and we tried to bring those up to speed and kind of demystify some of the scary looking things in the process. And as scary and as complicated as some of it sounds, watching it and doing it just makes it that much more accessible to folks. And when they see, oh, I can do this too, that's when the buzz really starts going. And I think I was asked at least half a dozen times from the girls from Youngstown.
Yes.
They were like, so where can I get this? Where can I get this? Oh, a film photography store.
Right.
Oh, well, this X-ray film looks great, but I have a 4x5. Filmphotographystore.com.
Oh, they have 4x5?
Yeah.
Wow.
So and they want to get into it. So
And, of course, hopefully by the time this show airs, my big experiment is cutting 120 film.
ooh,
That will really open up
Yes.
the X-ray to a lot of people
yeah,
who, don't have 4x5 or large
or
format.
don't want to go that route. Yeah.
I think the general consensus from everyone was that this was an excellent, awesome weekend, and everyone, at least to me at least, wants to come back.
I heard that a lot.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Good on us.
Good on us.
Did we cover everything?
I think we covered a fair amount. Yeah.
Anybody we forget to mention?
Wasn't it fun to have Dale Devine there?
Dale Devine.
Dale Devine was the Kodak employee that worked at the Kodak processing lab
Yes.
that used to soup our Kodachrome.
That's right.
Isn't that wonderful? Have a Kodak lab employee and
Did-
kind of knows the insides.
Did anybody grab his arm and talk to him? Do you know? Besides myself.
Oh, I've talked to him a lot because he's local for me.
Yeah.
But
Did Dale? How did he know about this? Did
Dale-
he come into the store?
Well, we bugged him. Both of us have
Yeah,
been bugging
we
him
were
for
on him,
about
so-
2 months.
personal invitation on that in that part. And Dale, his Graflex, his
Yes, he
2x3
did.
Graflex today. Mm-hmm. We had another person that was all digital that came today. He was beyond thrilled with the weekend. Beyond thrilled. Very complimentary. He's so excited now.
Oh,
So-
who might that be?
That would be, he goes by 2 names here in Findlay because there's more than one.
Oh.
Bill Wilson or
Frank.
Frank Wilson. Yes,
Oh,
there's
Frank
another Bill
Wilson.
Wilson, so everybody calls him Frank, but
Oh, his
Very-
name is Bill Wilson?
His name's
his real
Bill.
name's Bill Wilson.
His middle nation-
William Frank.
William Frank.
So he
I knew him as
typically
Frank.
but you
Yeah,
knew him as
Frank,
Frank.
yeah.
Yes. An incredibly nice gentleman. Had a blast.
He also had we also really benefited having Frank on the walk for when we were going downtown. It was kind of miserable, and we were kind of like, oh, here we can poke off here and go get warm and go photograph
Yes.
around here. So he was instrumental in the downtown walk.
We took a group shot in front of which building was that? The courthouse?
The courthouse.
Courthouse.
Yeah. On the brand new Impossible PQ color protection film.
Oh, very nice.
And it came out great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you shot some slide film as well?
And I shot two sheets of Provia from Fuji.
Oh, very nice.
So there was good representation of the weekend. I've got the rest of the weekend on Tri-X. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. A little love on all three camps.
Yep. Impossible Camp, Fuji Camp, Kodak Camp.
Got to play the field.
Well, good. So keep your radio, keep your dial tuned to us for future events. My goal for 2014 is to give much earlier notice to people. So maybe you could plan your day, your week, your weekend, so that if you live farther away, maybe you consider taking a plane, train, or automobile and coming to Findlay, Ohio in 2014. We're almost 100% sure we're gonna do it again. We're gonna tweak it a little bit. Make sure it's, a little more fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep. And
Wheels are turning. If
you were at this event and you're posting pictures, please do tag them FPP Findlay 2013. Now, we're going to be back in a minute, but right now we're going to roll in a piece from our man on the street, Hunter White. I know you've all missed him. And Hunter, we've missed you. And people at the Walking Workshop were talking about you. I really do like that Hunter White. I really do like those rolling he does. He gets some good interviews. And yes, you do. Because, see, it's Hunter that's coming up with the topics. All I say to Hunter is, why don't you go down to Lomography and get an interview? Why don't you go down to the Impossible Project and get an interview? I mean, that's good to do.
Yeah.
But I tell him every month. So, Hunter is at the International Center of Photography in New York City, where they're having an exhibit of photographs by CHIM, CHIM, called Photographs from Europe, 1933 through 1956. Take it away, Hunter.
This is FPP's Man on the Street, Hunter White, and I'm sitting here with Cynthia Young from ICP, and we're here to talk about the exhibition entitled We Went Back, Photographs from Europe, 1933 to 1956 by CHIM. How are you this morning, Cynthia?
Great, glad to be here.
First off, can you tell us a little bit about who CHIM was and what type of work he did? Because I didn't know a lot about him before I came here, so our listeners may not know about him.
Right, CHIM was one of the great 20th century photojournalists. He worked with Robert Campa and Cartier-Bresson, and together they founded the Magnum Agency in 1947. He was widely published in the 1930s in Paris, picture magazines, but also internationally, with his coverage of the Spanish Civil War, and then went on to have a really extraordinary post-war career in the picture press international picture press in the late 40s and 50s up until his death in 1956.
And he was born in Europe, correct?
He was born in Warsaw in 1911 and arrived in Paris in 1942 to study at the Sorbonne after studying art in Leipzig. His father was a publisher of Yiddish contemporary fiction as well as a translator into Yiddish of great American and European novels. So he came from a very intellectual, progressive Jewish household. He picked up a camera when he arrived in Paris to gain extra money and clearly saw he had a strong eye and great curiosity about the city around him and very interested in the leftist politics and sort of emigre community in Paris. Regard magazine was the leftist, communist workers magazine, filled with pictures on the front and back covers and throughout, and really was the place that allowed CHIM to develop his eye and his interest in workers and the idea of the photo essay, not just individual photographs, but really several photographs that together create this strong reportage about a given subject.
Did he move to America, correct?
He did. He essentially escaped from France in 1939, really as under an assignment to cover a boatload of Spanish Republican refugees leaving from the south of France on a boat to Mexico, which at that time was really the only country that was taking Spanish refugees. And then at the end, in the fall of 1939, he came to New York, where he met, by that point, Robert Capa, who just arrived, and some other friends from Europe. He stayed in America for roughly until 1947, when he got a major assignment to go back to Europe to look at how Europeans were living 2 years after the end of the war. And really from that point on, his photojournalism career sort of reblossomed, and he traveled incessantly throughout the rest of his life, only in Europe, and just to come back to America occasionally to see his sister, who'd resettled in New York, and some friends, but never made any assignments that we know of in America.
I know photographers like Cortege, when they moved to America, it kind of changed their work in some way. It kind of changed not only their work, but how they looked upon the world. Did that happen with CHIM in any way?
Well, I don't think it was his arrival in New York or what he experienced here, but more what he'd experienced back in Europe. I mean, he really, I think, was essentially traumatized by his experience of what he witnessed in France and then in Spain, the devastation, knowing that his parents had perished during the war. And I think his work did radically change, actually. I think his perspective became less militant in a way. I mean, he really was a strong propagandist photographer in the 30s, but in the post-war period, I think there was a more nuanced approach to his photography, and it's actually quite stunning that you see the kind of work he was making in 1947 after having really not practiced as a photojournalist for 8 years, but to come back not only also using a medium format camera for the first time as a journalist, but using color as well. I mean, it's something that I haven't seen with other photographers, to probably have this period of intense reflection about the medium. He was working as a printer in New York City. He ran a lab around Midtown Manhattan. During the war, he worked in the photo lab and photographic resources, but then worked as a photo interpreter of the aerial photographs that were towards the end of the war in the north coast of England and Belgian border with Germany. And I think that really had a profound effect on his perspective of the world, and his sense of humanity too. People who did know him before and after the war did say that he changed. His character did change, or his outward appearance and engagement with people became a little more subdued.
You talked a little bit about his relationship with Capa and Cartier-Bresson. Can you go into that a little more?
He met both of them in Paris right away, I think 1935. They were all relatively same age, thoroughly engaged with the power of photography to inform people, slightly different backgrounds and certainly different characters, but they're sort of, the Three Musketeers going forward and through the rest of CHIM and Capa's life. It was amazing, actually, when we discovered the Mexican suitcase negatives in 2008, and we were going through what we thought were supposed to be only Capa's negatives to see that there were really a third of CHIM's packed in these three small boxes, to see and start to understand actually how close Capa and CHIM were working in the 30s in Paris. That CHIM either stored, used what we've always known as Capa's studio, but probably was the studio that they both shared, and they both stored and printed their work there and distributed their photographs to the press at that time. So there was a very strong relationship between the two of them, and I think if you look at their photographs from Spain, their work is very different. They went to different places, and not only is that a reflection of their characters, but maybe also an implicit or very explicit discussion between them about what they would cover and how they would spread out and cover different aspects of the war, so that together their work would provide a bigger coverage of the Republican side, or what was happening during the war for the magazines that were supporting the Republican side. There are so many projects in which, and magazines, special editions magazines, in which their work was included with Taros. Actually, it was really the three of them during the 30s. It's sort of impossible to think of any one of those photographers without the other, and how important a role that they played to each other's work during that time. CHIM was also a little older than Capa. He was a few years older and more established, certainly by 1936. CHIM had been publishing regularly in Regarde on the covers, and really the most probably famous and regularly used photographer before the war started. So Capa was just starting, and he had just only had a few stories published before the war started. So CHIM, I think, was a real mentor to him at that time. And Cartier-Bresson was also a good friend, and they respected CHIM, as we know from letters. I think they were sort of more intellectual souls than with Kappa, who was more an intuitive, sort of impulsive character, but who greatly respected CHIM's eye. And in the exhibition, you can see a photograph of the two of them looking over images, and just you can just feel the camaraderie and respect that they had for each other's opinion about work.
If you look up best photojournalist lists of all time, for some reason you don't really see CHIM. I don't think you see a lot of Kappa and Bresson. Obviously, Bresson probably for his decisive moment, and Kappa maybe more for his Normandy stuff. Could the reason be that CHIM isn't as well known as, say, Kappa?
He just, compared to Kappa, he didn't have the kind of incredible personal life. He did not have the affair with Ingrid Bergman. He did not go in on D-Day with the troops. And
he didn't have the tabloid drive.
No, he didn't. And he didn't write a fantastic autobiography, as in Slightly Out of Focus, which Kappa wrote. He, in fact, didn't really publish any books during his lifetime other than the UNESCO photographs. It was really a project for UNESCO rather than a photography book that he organized himself. He didn't have a brother who championed the work after his death. I mean, he and Kappa both died very young, and it was really Cornel Kappa who dedicated sort of the 60s and 70s to keeping his brother's work alive through photographs, through magazine.
Through ICP and all.
Well, in 1974, right. And in fact, it was the great impetus, I think, to create an institution that would preserve, house, exhibit the work. But even before then, he had been doing exhibitions, also including CHIM, but, the real tie was with Kappa. So, I hope this is a time where people can really see how much CHIM was a part of that period of sort of golden age of photojournalism, and how influential he was in the magazine and within the two other photographers during that time. And then, of course, Cartier-Bresson lived for so long, and he did so many other things, and so was so respected in the museum field that his work sort of catapulted into another area. But, over time, I hope there is room for CHIM in the histories, and it's starting to change. Also, there's a name problem, too. I always say there's an identity thing. He was born David Schimann, and then when he arrived in Paris, he used CHIM as a byline. It was easier to pronounce and spell than Schimann. It was very, flashy and quick, which is the four letters like Kappa and Taro. And then when he arrived in America, when he became an American citizen in 1942, he changed his name to David Seymour, and that was his byline in the post-war period. But to all his friends, actually, he remained Shim, or Shimsky, or Shim. I mean, that was really who he was, and that was really where he gained his reputation. But there's sort of these various periods of CHIM, which also made him, I think, hard to even market or follow.
There's such a perfect segue in there. We talked a little bit about, we mentioned Ingrid Bergman, Kappa's affair with him. CHIM had, there's a group of images in there of celebrities, and for me to see those, they were kind of out of left field. They're so different, the UNESCO photographs. Can you talk a little bit about his relationship with celebrities and why he took these portraits?
Yes, well, with Ingrid Bergman, actually, he had met her through Kappa, and in about 1951 had settled in Rome as his base. So he saw her regularly, and I think they really enjoyed each other's company. She remembers him fondly in her autobiography, and she trusted him as a photographer and really let him take many portraits of her and her children that were then published in all the paparazzi magazines as they were unfolding during that period. The other portraits came mostly probably as assignments. He photographed Truman Capote on the set of Beat the Devil. He and Kappa and other Magnum photographers actually did cover the sets of various films during that time. It was good money, and they made unique images of the sets. Also, who else did he photograph? Toscanini, of course, but also Sophia Loren. He found her in Naples, and right when she was just becoming a star. And those celebrity portraits were good value for Magnum. They were valuable to keeping that agency alive, which was really their main focus at that time. They had created this agency that had offices in New York and Paris that was meant to allow them to continue a career in photography. I think also during that time they both had very glamorous lives and were associated with fabulous people and European royalty, and were photographing all sorts of people. So they were, frankly, a lot of fun to be with, and I think people gravitated towards them. And if you look at the photographs in the show, they're really all artists. And I think his ability to capture not only the kind of work that the artist was doing, but also in a scene. It's not just a close-up of their face, but really an in situ kind of photojournalistic moment that sort of transcends that into a portrait.
We mentioned the group of celebrity portraits. We've alluded to the UNESCO pictures, which we'll certainly get to in a second. Can you talk a little bit about how the show itself is organized, how it's broken up?
Yeah, it's roughly chronological. I think that was the way I wanted people to engage with his work and understand the progression from this early period where sort of pre-Spanish Civil War, when he was photographing workers and peasants of various sort in France, and then he engaged with the rising Front Populaire movement in Paris, and then was photographing the Spanish Civil War from the beginning to the end.
Well, thank you so much, Cynthia. The exhibition is beautiful, and there's so much that we couldn't get to today. It's a jam-packed exhibition. Thank you so much, Cynthia.
My pleasure.
First time I held these shots in my hand, I knew I had to tell people about the Kodak Advantix camera. Look at that one.
I think we broke up right after that.
Hey, can I tell you about the Kodak Advantix? Take a look through there. Yeah. It's drop and loading. People get such a kick out of this. It's like magic. It's got 3 picture sizes. Panoramic, you could span all of that.
Right. Or you could take a bunch of yours and just staple them together.
That's pretty neat.
Can you find a picture of me sleeping?
Right
here on my index print. I like to think that I'm an ambassador of the Kodak Advantix camera.
Some make greatness look simple, like the great Gretzky, and Canon's new vision of photography, the inspiring T70, with the pure agility of touch-button control and 3 distinct program modes. Now, Canon makes it simple to handle any shot. The inspiring Canon T70.
It makes the great shot simple.
Hey, we're back. Let me get my checklist out here. What do we talk about? Polochrome? Check.
Walking workshop?
Check. ICP?
Check.
Let's talk
Polochrome film?
Check. Let's talk about. We're going to talk more about actual film stocks, but this is a good opportunity to talk about the Olympus, ECRU, ECRU, ECRU.
What crew?
35 millimeter camera. It looks like, I don't know what it looks like.
I thought it was a disc camera too, Mike. That was the first thing you said. Hey, is it disc?
Disc camera or a 127 camera?
I know, but it's a 35 millimeter. It's another one of Olympus's concept cameras. They did just a few of these. Of course, they have some classy little saying to go along with it. I'll read what they said. Living an intellectually enhanced life, as natural as unbleached linen.
Oh, is this camera designed for women?
It is awfully pretty, and it's all white. It's decked out in silver. It has a lovely tan leather neck strap.
I love the strap. That's got to be the best part for me.
It's made for a woman, but strong enough for a man.
There you go.
I like it too. Actually, ECRU is French for natural or unbleached. It did not at all have the popularity that the O product did. It was the second kind of after O product.
The O product had a little more, I think, has a little more universal appeal than this guy.
Beautiful. And of course, the O product was all aluminum.
Yes.
And then they did this little plastic thing.
What year?
The 60s?
No. 1991.
Oh, wow.
Very interesting design. Like this.
Now, there's a lens cap I did not bring along that is all silver that goes on the front and covers everything up.
The on-off is like a lever from like a bathroom.
That looks like that little thing that was in Grandma's bathtub. That little, on-off thing.
It's funny.
They made 10,000 for the U.S., 10,000 for Japan.
Oh, so not a lot at all.
No, not at all. So they're very limited. I like it because it runs off of AAAs.
AAA? Vardas only?
Possibly. No, actually, we'll use anything. Standard 35 millimeter, 3.5 lens, maxes at 16.
Can it get up close like the Olympus 3.5s you normally can?
You're probably limited to, I don't know this for a fact, maybe 24 inches.
You know, it's funny, whenever you said, 1991, whenever I think of, like, late 80s, early 90s, I think of that, like, crappy Nintendo plastic, like, it's gray and, like, it gets old and gets all cruddy. Yeah.
No, that's a leather strap.
It's very clean.
And, of course, it came in a sweet white box. everything, little cloth wrappings around it.
It's like a tourist camera, like you would.
No, this is an evening camera.
Oh, this is an
evening camera. Yes, Matt and I and some friends had an event at the Toledo Museum of Art a few weekends ago, and that's the camera I chose to take because it's a dress-up camera.
Is that right?
Yes.
It is a dress-up camera.
Very
Look at
much
that.
so.
So unusual looking.
It is, but if you look at it closely, it has the appearance of a stylus face.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
That's why I was asking about the focus, because it looks like
exactly.
stylus.
At a 15th of a second to 1/500th of a second. It kind of has some stylus numbers.
It's auto, right?
Auto.
So it's like sort of like stylus guts.
Yes.
Yes.
At a much bigger inflated stylus price.
Is that right?
Oh,
What
yeah.
would-
Well, see, they made 10,000 and 10,000.
What would that
20
retail
total.
for?
I can't remember, but I'm going to say possibly $300.
Whoa. It's for the rich and famous.
Yeah.
It's an evening camera.
They don't know what a stylus is.
Right.
Yeah. Stylus didn't come in white and match your shoes.
There you go.
This Olympus ECRU 35mm camera, can you find these on eBay?
You can. They're much more reasonable than the O product. The O product visually is so much more appealing.
Is it hard to find them in their original box?
Maybe quarter of them or 50% come in the original boxes yet. The rest are not.
Now, is that because most of the people that have them are, collectors in the first place?
Yes.
Okay.
Collectors rather than users.
And do you have any images you shot with it?
Yes. They are tagged with ECRU on my Flickr site.
Very nice. I know we have a lot of Olympus listeners out there, a lot of Olympus shooters, people like Dave Mahaly.
Dave Mahaly.
I call him an Olympus man.
And his son, Tony.
Oh, he's an Olympus shooter as well?
He sure is.
Oh, very nice. We saw Dave, of course, at our walking workshop. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, film. And we have some letters, too.
Okay.
Hey, this is Michael Rosso, host of the Film Photography Podcast, and a huge thank you to folks out there who have donated to the FPP over the last few months or year. All of us here at the Film Photography Podcast are volunteers, and that's why we ask you to donate. If you love the FPP and really dig the podcast and continued blogs, videos, then please consider donating to the Film Photography Project. And you could do so very easily by either finding a film camera that works and consider donating it to the show. Do you have any excess film that you're not shooting? Or if you can make a contribution, you can easily do that on the FPP Film Photography Project site and click donate. Everything that's received is used for the Film Photography Project and its podcast, for our monthly giveaways, and any monies that are made in the FPP store just fuel the podcast. Let's keep these shoes going in 2013 and beyond. The Film Photography Podcast. It's here for you.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Hey, we're back. Hey, real quick about some APS film. APS is the Advanced Photo System developed by Kodak, or as Leslie would say, the Big Five.
The Big Five.
Who are the Big Five?
Who are the Big Five? I don't know for sure. Thank you very much. It was Kodak. It was Nikon.
So did Kodak...
Canon.
Go ahead.
I knew these the other night. Minolta. Olympus was not a player in this. Canon.
But Kodak had to share the technology with Fuji, correct?
They did, yes.
So did they carve out territories? Like, you take this country, but don't tread on us here in the U.S.? Like, how did that work?
I don't believe so. I think it was...
No,
it
they
was
took
pretty
up
much
territories in the U.S. I mean, it was kind of divided. Like, this was the Fuji
Do you
area.
think there was a patent involved that Kodak saw? Sort of like the Keurig coffee.
Yeah.
The Keurig system. Keurigs were expensive, and I'm thinking it is
Too
very
expensive,
because there's licensing fees involved.
But now, of course, other people are making...
Yeah, there's the knockoff
cups for
versions.
them.
And,
Hey!
Who the heck is here? There he is.
There he is, just walking into the Film Photography Podcast. It's Mr. Henrik Kudo.
Hey there. I'm just going to lean toward a microphone. Hey, wow, this is not set up. Like, this is a legit thing.
This is the presidential suite, my friend.
I can tell.
Yeah.
This place is wicked nice.
It's got a bathroom and everything.
No way.
Yeah.
It's Finley.
Now, folks listening who have dig deep into the FPP archives will know Henrik's been on the show.
Once or twice,
You had, like, wacky giveaway, like, I don't know, you gave away, like, an exposed roll of film if you bought your CD.
Yeah.
All sorts of things like that. And you also, we've played your music on the show.
Yes.
My favorite being, I What's my favorite? Is it "I'm Great"? Is that a song?
I'm just so great.
I'm just so great.
I love that too.
Can't compete.
I just want to mention, since I literally walked in, everything. This is the most like true to life radio kind of deal I've ever seen. I actually walk in and happen into the program, and you guys are actually surrounded by film photography stuff. Like,
oh yes,
like.
It's not a fake.
The picture that you paint with words is real, folks. I just wanted to point out, like, I tried to take a seat and almost sat on an SLR.
You had to clean out like 5 cameras.
Yes.
Film. Oh yeah.
Oh no, this is no fake.
Well, no, I mean, but usually it's embellished. Like, we're in we're talking about this, and no, there's just piles. There's lenses and those are car keys. I don't think that those are.
No, but the cup.
Oh my God, and a
Great
Kodak
cup.
So I just wanted to mention that to your listeners, so I could pull the curtain back and reveal to you that it is all true.
Oh, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, we even have a door prize for you. Whoa. I thought of you. We were on our walking workshop, and we were walking through beautiful downtown Findlay, Ohio.
Oh,
and
we're past
I got
Swanson's, yeah.
From Swanson's.
Yeah, my barber.
Mustache wax.
I love it, and it has a little comb.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Can't go without the comb.
The comb will come in particularly handy.
That's great.
I brought you guys presents.
Oh, okay. We like presents.
I brought a taste of Dayton, Ohio.
Oh my God!
Is it Mike Sells?
Mike sells potato chips.
Mike sells potato
A
chips.
bag for you, Mr. Rasso.
Oh, thank you.
And a bag for you two lovely people.
Now, in this bag are individual bags?
2 individual bags.
I like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're twin packs. Now,
Nice.
and those are manufactured and distributed from Dayton, Ohio. And they don't go. I don't know. Do they go this far? Now?
Absolutely. That's
They
a
do?
big name here.
They do.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes.
I think I had to go to like Fair to get these. They sell.
No, we have them at Myers.
Oh, do we have them at Myers?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
You know what Myers is?
Oh, I don't know where Myers is. Here we have Myers.
Okay.
Where I,
Very cool.
Your mustache is looking amazing.
Thank you. It was poking me in the eye yesterday, so I had to
look at
scrub
that.
it
Yeah.
really hard to get it to. It's like the hair on your head. Well, not
Sorry,
to,
Mike.
Yeah, to Mike down. No, but like how you have to reset it. Like if your part's wrong and it won't correct, you have to wash it and scrub it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the exact same way with the mustache. So it started poking me in the eye yesterday.
Very
So
cool.
it was- but today, yeah, totally. You chose a beautiful day for me to make that drive. Like,
Excellent.
It's just gorgeous outside.
Well, Henrik is here, and we may do a few things. I was even thinking of recording a segment for the Alternative Cinema podcast.
Ooh, I'm in.
Talk about Henrik's new movie, Babysitter Massacre.
Oh, I also brought some stuff because the world premiere was Friday.
Yes.
World premiere
So I
was
brought
Friday.
A poster for
that.
Mr. Michael. Poster for
Thank
Leslie.
you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I love it. Look at that. Executive producer Michael Rosso.
I know. Well, we played it to a nearly capacity house of 220 people in
Beautiful.
a 280 seat theater.
Oh, very nice.
It was incredibly well received.
We'll be back in a second with more film, and stay tuned.
Look what Kmart's got for you.
Cameras, I got them.
Yes, but this is the Kodak Advantix. Anyone can be an expert with this.
Kodak, huh? Drop-in loading, 3-picture format, and they process them right here.
Smile!
No!
Yes! You got it. That's it.
Leave me alone!
Love the camera. You are good.
The Kodak Advantix 3200, only $77.99 at your Kodak headquarters, today's Kmart.
Feel it. Connect with me.
Hey, we're back. Hey, we were talking about APS film before Henrik came in. Henrik's still here in the studio. He doesn't have a microphone, but he's listening to all this film stuff. He'll probably just jump right back in. You don't have to. But your friend, Alicia?
Yeah, Alicia Lozier.
Alicia Lozier. She's a photographer.
Yes, she's actually at a wedding right now.
Yeah, just right back here.
you did it. So.
She shoots. She shoots
professionally.
But she's very unfazed by all my little hints about her picking up a film camera.
Well, you know what? What happened? What really happened is she's been so overwhelmed. First of all, by the artwork that we recently used for the new movie, she's been so overwhelmed that you guys loved it so much, that so many people have loved it so much. But mainly, she's been shooting weddings. She's just been really busy.
That's a grind. Yeah.
She has
making money.
We've all done it.
Making pretty good money. I mean, now the season's just starting, so
Yeah.
now it's really
Full
getting
swing.
out of control. But no, she's definitely interested. I know she already has a Canon SLR. I think it's a D50.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about any D things.
Or not DSLR. I meant a SLR. Sorry.
Oh, like an
No, she
EOS
has-
Rebel?
No, she has an SLR. She has one like old film SLR. I didn't mean to say
AE.
DSLR. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. That's why I was sitting across the room away from the microphones.
Just collecting dust?
It was given to her like 4 or 5 years
Okay.
ago by a family member.
Does she need some film?
She would love
a little
some
motivation.
She would love some film.
Okay.
It's just a 35 camera. She'd love it.
Okay. So I want to just get her motivated to just shoot a little bit of film.
Sure.
You know, a lot of wedding photographers are supplementing their work with some film shots.
Really?
Yeah, offering its clients separately and just like add-ons, Polaroids. Yeah.
Yes. What does she need?
She needs some unusual and rare film. Where can she get that unusual and rare film?
Oh, look at that.
Question. I mean,
I don't know.
I imagine it would be impossible to find. If there's an answer here, I'd be thrilled.
It's not quite.
Filmphotographystory.com.
And what do they have there?
Polypan F. Oh, oh, the incredible Fujichrome CDU2 ASA 20.
That sounds very odd.
With the warning.
Oh, shoot!
What is the warning?
There's a warning on it?
It's tungsten balance.
It's tungsten balance.
Yes, you need an 85B.
You don't see that
in the real world, and you don't want people.
That's what color?
Orange.
Orange for outside.
Rather orange, yes.
Yeah.
Balance it back to daylight.
Yeah.
And you said 20 ASA?
This is 20 ASA.
Now that means you need a lot of light.
Oh, yes.
And then you throw a filter on it with a filter factor of 2.
Even more.
A lot more light. So.
I'm shocked I actually understand some of this.
You're very good. You're doing well.
So I'm going to try to, push some film over there to Dayton.
I would be happy to see her experiment with it. I'll give her stuff to shoot.
Great. Okay, I'll give her an assignment.
Absolutely.
Okay, maybe I'll get some processing involved.
I'm in.
That'd be good, right? People want to get their shit processed.
Yeah, when you throw in processing, you seal the deal.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, step right over here, Henrik. Yep. Put your mic back, Leslie. So.
There you go.
So we're talking about APS, and I'm excited about. I know no one is excited about APS. The few, like two of you, but I do want to point out some interesting stuff here. Like, for example, and we do have this in our own very own filmphotographystore.com. The I call it FNAC. FNAC brand?
What's this?
We've yet to determine that. No one's processed it yet to see if there's a rebate.
Yeah. FNAC 40 exposure APS film.
400 ISO.
Color.
Oh,
C41.
400 ASA.
C41.
I think it's from outside the United States.
Yes, it's got.
I think it's French. It's the first language on the label. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, there's multiple languages on here, but the first one's French, and there's some German on here.
There's nothing on the web. No one knows anything. Other than there's a guy on eBay selling a boatload of it.
It's interesting.
Warehouse stored.
Exactly. And then, of course, which I was thrilled, which will actually jumpstart our next topic, APS film. Do you know what APS is film? Did your grandma have one of these? Henrik's over there off mic talking about sensor size.
Yeah.
Leslie, over the weekend, you gave me 2 rolls of Kodak Advantix black and white, which is known as here they don't call it the CN. They call it just 400 black and white, process C41 only, which is a black and white film that you do not process in traditional black and white chemistry.
C41.
Correct.
Yes. You can get a black and white.
C41.
C41, yeah.
Bring it to the Rite Aid.
Yep.
Exactly.
That'll process it, yeah.
That's what it was all about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thrilled to start shooting some of this APS on a camera I recently acquired. It's actually Canon EOS IX7 28 to 80 millimeter lens on it. And Matt, you were so kind to lend me your 50 millimeter f1.4 over the weekend.
How'd you like that?
Loved it. Yeah, pop it on the camera. It's nice to have.
Very quick. Did you order that 40 mil, the pancake lens yet?
I have my finger on the trigger.
It's so nice. It's perfect.
And
as soon
now
as it's so
hands
small.
are popping up. Like I'm on Facebook.
Oh, because you searched for it. Yeah,
I know.
You're done.
I'm done.
They've got you.
And explain to the folks out there listening who shoot with Canon EOS, folks like Henrik who are here in our presidential suite in the beautiful downtown Findlay, Ohio. Can he use these EOS on his Canon 7D? Is that what it's called?
I have a T3i.
Yeah. What happened to your 7D?
I never had one.
Yes, he can. He can use those on all EOS mount, film or digital. Will work together. Now there are the smaller ones, which Henrik was talking about, which are the APS-C cameras, and those have what are called EFS lenses. They have a little white tab where it screws in. All EOS lenses have a little red tab where it screws in, and if it has that red tab, it will mount on an EOS camera.
I just recently switched cameras. I do have my Canon, but I switched to a Sony NEX cinema camera.
Okay.
And since it's mirrorless, it's super shallow, and I have a 28mm f2.8 Canon FD lens that I've been using. that is awesome.
People mount a lot of cool lenses on those
you
Sony
can
Nex
mount
cameras.
Anything on them.
People get special adapters, though.
Yeah, I have a EOS adapter and the dumb one, so you can't adjust the f-stop, and then I have a Canon FD lens adapter. And that 28mm looks great. It's a good piece of glass, and I got it for like $45 or $50 on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thrilled.
Now, does a 28mm in your Sony box equal 28mm?
No, because it's
longer.
It's a super 35mm size sensor, which means it's a little slightly bigger than APS-C, I believe. So it's slightly bigger.
So do you use this lens all the time?
I use it very often because it gives you that it's not quite super wide, but it's not quite tight. But you can get great low light response.
Did you use any Canon FD lenses on the film, which my name is executive producer?
In three shots. No joke. There are 3 exterior shots where I used them. It was right when I got the new camera because we shot most of that on a DSLR.
And I guess you're using any Canon FD lenses on I Want a Bulldog for Christmas?
On a Bulldog for Christmas, we will be using... I'm in the market right now for an 85mm f1.8 preferably. I'm in the market for one of those right now.
You were born to be in media. Like, it's impossible to keep you over there off in the green chair.
I'm going to go to the
He was there for 30 seconds,
no.
You know, your album called That's Loud?
Yes.
I mean, you don't even need a mic.
That's completely true.
Wow. The APS film, it's called chromogenic.
Chromogenic, yep.
Black and white film that you could develop in color chemistry.
C41.
Leslie mentioned to me, because 35mm, actually someone emailed me saying, do you carry Kodak? Henrik, did you know that the film photography store in beautiful downtown Butler, New Jersey is now...
Scenic Butler, New Jersey. I lived in Butler proper, I know.
Scenic Butler, New Jersey is now like...
I was there a year ago. I was there last February.
Okay. It's a full-blown operation.
And I would say ship shop shape. That's
ship shape.
Ship shape. There we go.
So someone emailed me and said, can you carry Kodak BW 400CN? I thought it was discontinued. It's not. It's the same. It's film that you could process in C41 chemistry. This gent claims that he processes it in black and white chemistry and likes it better.
Really?
Than Tri-X.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then Leslie said maybe he's talking about the T. And I don't know what Leslie was talking about.
What's he?
He rarely does.
And then I found a roll in, the FPP studio. I found, oh my God, T400CN. So, Leslie, grab your mic back.
Yes.
And what is the difference between T400CN and BW400CN?
T was introduced first, but they were both around the same time. T was considered the professional version. BW was considered the amateur version that you would pick up in the marts.
Mm-hmm.
T, you would go to your typical camera store, small shop, available like that. Originally, too, BW was only available in 35, whereas T was available in 120 and 35.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Incredibly beautiful film. The T, never cared much for the BW, but the T you could underexpose, you'd throw it in the enlarger. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Truly amazing.
T is discontinued?
T is discontinued.
Is 120... Any 120 BW?
That's gone.
I think it's all gone.
That was gone a couple of years ago.
Yes.
I think when I had just started shooting film, it was available from the big stores, and then just kind of overnight it was gone.
Right. Kodak BW 400CN, as of this recording, is still available, and people are asking for it. And I was kind of surprised, actually. I thought everyone's going to be your T-Max, your Tri-X, some of your Ilford stocks.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know a lot of city shooters, folks in large metropolitan areas, New York City, London. They prefer the BWCN and the Ilford, what's theirs called? XP2, I believe, because they're never near they don't have a darkroom themselves, and they don't want to pay out the ears for traditional black and white processing because it costs more.
Right.
So they just drop it off at the mart and they're done.
Right. Makes sense. Well, we have it now, so shoot it up, folks.
You got it, shoot it.
That's right, filmphotographystore.com. I haven't been running very many spots lately. I've been prefer to talk about the fact that we have a store, and we ask folks out there listening to this broadcast to consider donating to the show. We're a volunteer staff. We have a donate button on our website. We have a store on our website where you can buy film, cameras, Polaroid automatic land cameras. We're going to be carrying some beautiful refurbished cameras from Japan, from the Mint Company.
Oh,
series of cameras that will have a 1-year warranty on them.
Wow.
6 months. We'll have a 6-month
Whichever
or a
comes
year
first.
warranty on them. And the reason that the FPP store has not been stocking cameras like the folding Polaroids, cameras like the white rainbow camera, is because they're SX70 and they're close to 40 or 40 plus years old, and they go bust. They do have their share of problems. So now we have a source to get you cameras that are backed up, so to speak.
So which cameras are these going to be from Mint?
The folding Polaroid cameras, SX70.
Okay.
Yeah,
also rainbow though too from Mint. Did
I
you tell me?
requested the rainbow, and they're going to try to put a special order in.
Okay.
Very nice.
So that's like one of the number one
really
requests.
The rainbow.
Everybody wants the white rainbow. Can you picture that in your mind, Henrik? The white rainbow Polaroid, square, boxy.
Ooh.
You
Little
can't.
white camera,
He's making believe
rainbow
he
stripe.
can't. It's all right.
Okay.
No
It's
problem.
all right. It'll
Don't be
okay,
scared.
honey.
So please do visit the film photography store. We're going to take a really quick break now, maybe hear a retro commercial, and we'll come back and talk really quick about our special flavors of the month.
This is Polaroid's new Time Zero One Step.
Pretty. Why is it black?
So you'll know it's the Time Zero One Step. And here's the world's fastest developing color. You see it in seconds now, not minutes.
Look at that color. But why a Time Zero One Step?
It comes with a pack of Time Zero Supercolor film in this made-for-each-other pack.
Certainly are made for each other.
Just like coffee and cream.
Rolls and Royce.
Or me and you.
Try ham and cheese.
Hey, we're back. In the last few months, we've been experimenting with hand-rolling film. It's great to have a layperson in the room because, you don't know anything about film. You just know about sensors or lux.
Yeah.
We have been buying 100-foot rolls of film and hand-rolling them onto the classic 35mm cartridge. Like this is I almost called you Justin. It's an AC thing. This, Justin, is a hand-rolled...
Just change your voice a little.
A hand-rolled Fujichrome CDU2 hand-rolled color slide film, suggested ASA 20, has no DX coding, 36 exposures. You could process it E6, or you could process it C41. And it doesn't say on here, but it should, that it's balanced for tungsten light, which means inside lights or, hot lights.
Hot lights, yeah.
Yeah. So you could shoot this, no, it's balanced for hot lights. Right.
Yeah,
Is that what I said?
yeah,
If you
we're
shoot
good.
it
We're good.
outdoors, it's incredibly blue.
Yeah, or a strobe.
Or strobe.
So then you have to gel your lens with a number
85B,
which is orange.
Yes.
Warming film.
So we're offering, and gosh, we have probably less than 40 rolls of this at any one time in the FPP store. You can just kind of check in every week or so to see what the flavor of the month is. But I'm pretty excited because our good friend Lance from Belgium, Picture Crossing, Lance is a collector of oddball films.
Yes, he is.
Yes. And Lance emailed me. He's like, Mike, would you like to, carry some in the FPP store? And I was thrilled because he has been, he travels around the world and he's able to kind of collect all the odd film stocks that I can't get my hands on. The newest, of course, all the rage about a month ago on the Flickr forum was the Kodak Hawkeye surveillance film. Henrik's looking at me like, I need to tune into this podcast because the stuff you talk about is just so crazy. Hawkeye surveillance film. I'm guessing, Leslie, back me up if you know what I'm talking, if I'm talking correctly, that people would load 100-foot rolls of film into a surveillance camera.
Yes.
And it would click off a frame, like click off a
This
frame.
is traffic surveillance film, I think that you're talking about.
Yes.
The color?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Goes into a unit, and every intervalometer, click it off,
Yep.
click it off, or something trips it.
Interestingly enough, some of these films come on what's known as a 100-foot daylight spool. It's very much like a 16mm Bolex camera. The film is on a spool that you could actually load-unload in dim daylight. You don't need a dark room. So you could actually rent. You can go to, I don't know who, somebody in the city, any city, and rent like a 35mm Arriflex film camera, and you would be able to load a 100-foot spool of this Hawkeye surveillance film, 400 ASA, and actually shoot a movie.
Oh, wow.
Because it's loaded on a 100-foot daylight spool, which is a movie format.
How long is 100 feet in movie format?
4 minutes, isn't it? It's like 3
Time-wise?
100 feet.
It's not long.
No. 400 feet is 11 minutes.
Okay.
11 minutes.
So this is 100 feet.
100 feet.
Divide that by 4. 3 3/4. So
4
minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
Hey, look at that.
So you could shoot a mini movie, then take your 100-foot rolls of film, send it to thedarkroom.com, and then you could scan a frame at a time. Like today, it's just amazing. You could actually just scan on a regular scanner and then animate that. Correct, Henrik?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm not doing this, by the way. But
Please
if
don't.
if anyone is interested in doing this, you certainly can. But I just noticed that. It was kind of oddball film. There was a gent on eBay selling like a bottomless pit.
Still he hasn't hit bottom yet.
He's sold over 100 rolls of this.
Now it's coming in, I believe now we've hit metal can.
Okay, metal can.
Yes.
Metal can only.
I believe he's down to metal can.
Yeah.
Mine came in plastic can.
Yeah. Well,
it's an age thing. The plastic's newer.
Yes.
He's going from new.
In that plastic
to
is the 100-foot daylight spool.
Is it?
Yes, correct.
You've opened yours.
I haven't actually. I'm guessing because 16 millimeters is exactly the same. Have you? You think this is that plastic tray?
I think it's a traditional 100-foot box that you must open in the dark and
we're going to find out.
Peel the little. We'll find out.
Yeah, we're going to find
now
out.
I could drive across town and get it, but no.
Now, what you see, there have been a lot. Although there've been lots of people buying it, most people don't have the patience to actually buy a 100-foot load of film and then load it into like little
bulk load
spools.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's what FPP is going to do. Always selling it to you at a very reasonable price. And of course, any funds that we make at the FPP go back into the FPP, so we can throw a ball like the FPP Walking Workshop.
And of course, if you roll your own,
Yes.
you don't get a nifty sticker on it.
You do not get a nifty sticker. Is this like a university film? CDU 2.
CDU
It sounds
2,
like it,
yes,
yeah.
I
It does,
graduated
right?
from CDU 2.
So we're going to be having some amazing
2.
films in the next few weeks and months on the FPP. Keep your radio dial tuned here. Go to filmphotographypodcast.com. What else? What am I missing?
You're missing the fact that Joey K's on the Polypan.
Where is it? Oh, I do have.
That's the only reason to get the Polypan right there. Yeah.
Polypan is also a great label on Polypan F.
It's like it's a
Polypan F.
bewildered
Mystery
Joey K.
Polypan F, which
Yeah.
is very infraredish.
It's dreamy.
Yes, dreamy.
Glows,
Dreamy.
lovely glow, dreamy.
Glowy, dreamy.
Glowy, dreamy.
It's a
Green
nice
base.
film. And you can go to the online shop and also check out the Polypan F.
Now, if you also
I
like
highly suggest
Polypan F and you are in the larger sizes, we also offer some beautiful orthochromatic and blue
That's right.
X-ray film.
X-ray film.
Medical
green,
X-ray
blue.
film. You can shoot that in your camera.
Listen to this, Henrik. Medical X-ray film. You put it in your camera and you shoot it. Kooky, right?
It's like I imagine it's like a big sheet.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Well, that's how it starts out, but the time Mike gets done with it,
Yeah,
though.
like Matt shoots large format
Yes.
8x10. He just loads it right in. I'm shooting large format 4x5, so I cut it down, put it in my film holder, load it into the back of my Ouija type camera, and shoot it.
What's it like?
It's great.
It's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we really should, take Henrik out and get a shot.
Oh,
You can see
yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh, it's amazing stuff.
Yeah.
It sees into you. I don't mean like X-ray. I mean, I know it's that film, but your eyes.
Just put that right on the box, Mike. It sees
It sees
into you.
It sees into your soul.
People send it back. They're creeped out.
Absolutely, it does. It sees
Give me the
into you.
non-creepy stuff.
So yeah, well, once we start talking about it,
It just
topic
snowballs, yeah.
It just snowballs. The stuff that's coming into the store is a bit on the eclectic side.
It is.
Very much so.
Which brings me to a question.
Yes.
How eclectic will we be? If I'll say, Michael, you're offering 4x5 and 8x10, but I shoot 5x7.
Uh-oh.
Are you going to cut film for me?
Yes, that's an email away.
Okay.
Yeah, you just need to. I mean, not many people. Actually, I should just offer it. Then I cut it to order.
Cut to order, yes, yes. Then, of course, Jacob of Jacob's Camera Closet can shoot his 2x3.
Oh, jeez.
What's 2x3?
2 inches by 3
baby
inches.
Graflex.
Little tiny things.
Baby
They're adorable.
Graflex. They're
Oh, he has
holders.
the actual back.
They take
Looking
they
for
take
it.
little plates. Yeah.
You know Jacob.
His baby Graflex is working. We talked about that a few podcasts ago.
Yeah.
Because Mark Dalzell has a baby.
Well, then you'll have to cut the 2x3.
But he has the 120 roll in
The
the
run 20 roll back.
You got the rollback. You're good
But
to
see,
go.
that's okay because you're going to start cutting X-ray in 120 roll.
That's right.
Yes.
Jacob from Jacob's Camera Closet needs
2x3.
2x3. Is that
2x3.
exactly 2x3 or is it 2.5, 3 1/4?
It might be. It could be anything. It could
We'll
be.
get
It
those
could be. It
exact
could be.
Seems like a
measurements.
strange size.
It could
to
be
me.
eighth plate, which is 2 1/4. I think it's 2 1/4, 3 1/4.
Could be.
There's all sorts of kooky
It
sizes.
seems like a
is.
strange size.
There's tons of them, Mike. It's
But I mean,
crazy.
you know what? Just
But for Leslie, 5x7, there's some guys in the UK that sell 5x7 X-ray film, like direct, already
yes,
cut.
but see if
I know. Gotta offer another alternative.
But see, it's expensive to order from the UK.
It
So
is.
why not just get it from FPP?
Why not?
I'm just watching Henrik. He has no idea what we're talking about.
I know what some of those numbers.
You apparently did not go to CDU too.
Apparently not.
Yeah. It's really, I guess.
F you.
This is like people who are into photograph, Victrola records, vinyl, wax,
cylinders. Yes.
Cylinders. I mean, it's like these. This is a niche.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it's a crazy niche.
Yeah, when you guys talk cinema, I just my head starts spinning. So it's the same thing.
No, it's like I would imagine it's like if you knew Latin, and then you ran into somebody else who spoke Latin. For God's sake, you'd want to speak it to each other.
Oh yeah,
that's what went on this weekend.
Yeah, that's what this whole weekend was for.
Well, folks out there listening, sad to say it's time to go. We've run out of time because we have lots of work here to do, mainly going out and feasting on some delicious something juicy.
Juicy.
And but I want to.
Buffalo.
I will regret it if I don't shoot Henrik on the X-ray film. Have to. I mean, it's so great. I can do it right here. Look at the sun.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Oh yeah.
I got to reflect.
Who hasn't wanted
Beautiful.
to look into Henrik's soul?
That's right.
I'm curious to see what it shows.
Let me ask you a question, Matt. I may not have any more X-ray loaded. Will ortho produce the same results?
Yeah, ortho will look pretty much the same. It'll less scratches.
Okay. Well, we're going to be back in 2 weeks. I think one of the guys at the walking workshop actually had the clip from the Money Pit.
Yes, he did.
2 weeks, too. You see the Money Pit, Henrik? Okay, don't worry about it.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, we're going to, since Henrik is here, we're going to
At least
go
that
out.
one moves and it's not a still.
We're going to go out with a song from Henrik Kudo. What's my favorite song? What's it called? I Can't Compete.
Yeah.
That's what it's called? Can't Compete. There's a lot of guitars and stuff in that. Who's on that?
That one's got Andrew Shearer playing guitar, and then a guy named Corey Montgomery, who's in a band called Sleep Fleet out of Columbus, Ohio, playing guitar on that, and then and they just make that song rock.
Columbus, Ohio. I was looking at your shirt.
Yeah, look at
See
his
my
jersey.
shirt?
Yeah.
Where did you get your Ohio State Buckeyes shirt?
Myers.
Here?
Yeah.
Nice. You're feeling the state, aren't you?
I am. I'm doing my best to assimilate, even though people do flip me the bird.
Oh my God, that was not nice.
No, people driving. People were very agitated on Friday on the way home from work.
Well, and you drive pretty aggressive, I'm betting.
I guess I do.
I'm not picking on you. I moved from Ohio to Jersey for
Jersey's aggressive driving, right?
Very aggressive.
Yeah.
But it
It's
changed
just
the way
different
I drive,
styles,
so now
yeah.
I drive a bit more aggressive because I live there.
Do people flip you the bird?
No, but I'm really handsome. And so they're mad until they look.
Until they look.
So,
It just all fades away.
We're going to see you in 2 weeks.
Bye, everyone.
Michael, Alex, Mark, and Leslie, Lauren, Matt, and John Fideli, the crew at the FPP podcast. I'd like to thank you for the gas here acquisition syndrome. Who needs food when there's a freezer full of Kodak? Here acquisition syndrome. I'm running out of space in my home. Here acquisition syndrome. I'm running out of space in my home. SLR, TLR, manual and automatic. On the bay, I just bid on a speed graphic. 35, 110, APS and 120. I am quickly running out of money.
That's okay, it's super positive.
Lenses, tripod, filters, and flash. Found a flea market Polaroid for $10 cash. Safe flight timer, trays, and a tank. For this obsession, the FPP. I think your acquisition